All right, buckle up. Y'all are joining me for a full body strength training day today. A couple weeks ago, I ended up switching up my split. And what a split is like what days you do specific workouts. And my split, I feel like I'm such a bro when I say that, but my split was more of a leg day, a shoulder day, a back day. So muscle or body part specific, right? I'm focusing on just shoulders on one day or just legs on another day. But what I was noticing is my recovery was kind of crap, for a lack of a better way to say it. Like after my leg days, my legs felt so heavy the next day my run. And so I'm like, okay, can I switch this up to a full body split? And there's actually some good research coming out there, not just from a hybrid training, but women specifically going into more perimenopause and menopause. There's a good amount of research that switching to full body splits can actually help recovery and promote recovery pretty well. Really enjoyed it, and it helped me recover on my runs actually a good amount. And so you're gonna join me on a full body day today. Love it, let's go. And I'm also picking up a friend. She just graduated high school a few years ago, and she has no idea how strong she actually is. She normally goes to Orange Theory, but I was like, you should come strength train with me, like just to see what you're capable of. So I'm gonna pick her up. We're gonna go to the gym. All right, let's get into training. So first thing I have is a main movement, which is my chin-ups. So I have 2 by 7, 1 by 5, and then one as many reps I can do, so an AMRAP. And then Soph here is I have her do a banded variation. And so this is a really good way to still feel your body weight in a chin up or a pull up, but obviously it's a little bit easier because that band's helping on the way up. And then I move into a leg exercise, which is my leg press. Love leg press for hips and knees. And I really want to keep my knees over my toes and not let my knees cave in. That's huge. And then finally I superset that with sit up. So I like to do weighted sit-ups, really control all the way down, all the way back. Probably going a little bit fast, but that's okay. And then a single arm Arnold press into back cable tees. So with this one, I'm focusing on keeping my elbows soft, so I'm not completely straight, but I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together at the end. And then last but not least is an ab roller. Ab roller, besides my ab cable rope row to curl, which is a mouthful, this is one of my most favorite ab exercises because I can really target the core and control it. So what a lot of people do wrong is they let their low back dip. You want to make sure that you're really driving by your core and keeping that core strong as you come all the way down and then all the way back.
You're tired.
What I'm going to do now is give you a behind the scenes look at my entire training programming. So what exercise I'm doing, what sets, what reps, the entire program and how it's built. And if there's one thing that you will know about me is there is intention behind every single exercise and why I do what I do when I'm training. This comes from my background in sports medicine and also just all the different arenas that I've been in from training. So here's a behind the scenes look. Go ahead, comment any questions that you have, whether why do you choose that exercise, Kels, or why that rep scheme? Go ahead, comment. There's nothing more I love to do, honestly, than talk about training and the reason behind it. So hope you enjoy and take some away from this. So in these full body sessions, I target these main things every single time, okay? I have some type of squat, which is normally quad / glute dominant, some type of hinge, more hamstring dominant, like a deadlift or an RDL, some type of push, so that could be a horizontal push, like a dumbbell bench press, that could be a vertical push, like an overhead press, a very similar to a pull, a horizontal pull, like a row, or a horizontal pull or a vertical pull, like a lat pull down or a pull up. And then a carry, that could be a single arm carry or a core. And then also just some accessories like a bicep curl or tricep extension, okay? So every single day has these variations in them in every session, all right? So you'll see here, I first start out with a warm up, and I highly recommend this every single time. So for example, today I'm doing a banded glute bridge, squat to stand, a runner lunge to open just as a stretch, an assisted squat, once again, just trying to prime my body and also the neuromuscular piece of it, the mind to body connection, that I'm in a good range of motion. So I always do some priming exercises. After that, most oftentimes you're gonna see one main compound movement. So for example, a compound versus an isolated compound is multi-joint, multi-muscle groups, right? When if I'm front squatting, which is this one, it's my hips, my knees, my ankles, my upper body, everything's working. versus an isolated movement could be more like a bicep curl. I'm fully focused on one joint, a single joint movement, and then also a single muscle, my biceps, right? So this is my first compound movement. I'm doing 4 sets total, 2 by 7, which 7's random. Don't ask me why I chose that. 1 by 5 and a 1 by AMRAP. So as many reps I can go till failure. The reason why I chose these rep ranges is because I want to still focus on strength / some hypertrophy. So strength from meaning maintaining my strength, but then also just building / maintaining some good quality muscle tissue, which is why I'm in the 7s, okay? I always then end with an AMRAP. I love ending with an AMRAP in a lot of specific sessions because I'm truly training to muscular failure. I'm not just going, oh, my 5 and it's easy. I like really seeing, okay, how many more do I have in the tank there, okay? So that's my first compound. Then I will go to a first superset. So I have a dumbbell bench here. It's a single arm. It's 3 sets total, single arm. So a single arm dumbbell bench. I love unilateral exercises because it not only targets, for example, my chest and what I'm using in a dumbbell bench, it also heavily targets my core. My obliques have to work and I have to really challenge them that way because it's a single arm movement, okay? Challenge your brain, also just as much as your body. And then also superset that with a lateral raise just as an accessory movement. I just love training shoulders, so that's the reason why. And then I come down here to single set exercises. So you'll see these ones are back to back, my double bench and lateral raise. But then this lat pull down is just one exercise. So I'm not supersetting it. I'm solely focused on that. And this lat pull down is 3 by 10 and then 1 by AMRAP to failure. Very similar. This one I'm focusing on feeling that range or feeling the muscles working. I'm not just going heavy to go heavy. I'm being very intentional with it. Okay. Same thing here, dumbbell RDL, that will target your hamstrings. So that's when I hinge back. 3 by 15 at a moderate / medium weight. Once again, I'm really focused on intentionality versus just trying to go heavy here. Okay. And then last thing here, I have an abduction machine. So that's my knees go out. I'm focusing on the outside part of my hips. This helps with running a ton because you have a lot of hip impact with running, right? And so we need to keep the stabilizers of our hips in prime condition. And then I also superset that with a single arm overhead carry to target my core and then also my overhead stability, okay? And then just some core to finish up. So that is day 1. This usually takes me about an hour 15 max. But I'm very intentional about me feeling it in the right place along with what muscles are actually activating. I would say there's a difference between training, meaning just to kind of go in and check the box off, and training with intentionality. I'm focused on where my hips at, what muscles am I feeling, like all those little details of it that comes after with more training experience. But that's the difference between actually injury prevention and getting to your goals or getting hurt in the process. All right. That is day 1. You saw a squat, you saw a hinge, you saw a push, a pull, and a carry. Day 2, we're getting into it. Once again, a warm up. So I have a cat-cow, thread the needle, boop, and a pull apart, getting my body ready. This one here, my compound / main movement is a military press. So that's when I'm seated and I'm pushing up and back with that military press. Same rep scheme, 2 by 7, 1 by 5, 1 by AMRAP to failure. Same exact rep scheme of what I had in that first full body day. You're going to see a very similar structure throughout each day. And then here, these have been kicking my butt, is a barbell split leg lunge. And so that's where I have the barbell on my back and I'm just keeping a split leg position, slowly coming down, squeezing my glute, not just my quad, squeezing my glute and coming up. These have made me incredibly sore in my glute, I will tell you that. And that's 12 each side. And then a banded glute bridge, 15. You'll see I have slow here. Once again, focusing on that mind muscle connection. Okay. Other thing here, single set exercise, a cable row, focusing on that horizontal pull, 3 by 10, 1 by AMRAP to failure. And then the next exercise, a cable face pull. So trying to get my rear delt in this, 3 by 15. So you'll see I focus on my back muscles. I'm focusing on my rear delt, so the back part of my shoulder. Dumbbell triceps kickback, that's all my actual triceps. And then an ab rope cable rotor curl, you'll see me do this a good amount. I love it as an ab exercise. Absolutely love it as an ab exercise, one of my favorites, but you need to know how to do it right. And then last but not least, a hanging leg raise, 3 by 10 for our core, and then also for grip strength, okay? You'll see here, I have a lower body, upper body, back, shoulders, all of it encompassed right here. That's day 2. Day 1, day 2. Day 3 here is, once again, I'm warming up. This is more my deadlift day. So I have a banded good morning, banded lateral walks, adductor machine. So trying to really prime my hips. Very similar, my first compound movement, you'll see this all the time. I have sumo deadlift, so it's 2x7, 1x5, 1 by AMRAP to failure. Once again, trying to pick weights that I'm really intentional about. I'm not just going heavy to go heavy or try to pull a PR. I'm really focusing on some good mind-muscle connection and making sure that I'm feeling in the right place, and then I'm actually able to engage the right muscles, okay? After this, you'll see a superset single arm dumbbell row. That's my back. Once again, you'll see a unilateral, so a single arm exercise, to be able to really isolate that specific arm, but also engage my core. I really like working in a unilateral pattern because that challenges your brain, like I said, just as much as your body. And then also superset with push-up. So that's my horizontal push, right? Then I come over here, a single arm overhead goblet squat. Oh my gosh, is this challenging? If y'all see some of my videos, I thought I was like, oh, I could probably do 30. I was able to do 15 pounds. It is challenging. And once again, the reason why I chose a single arm is because it challenges your brain and stability, those small little muscles that a lot of people miss or just don't even think about. It challenges your brain just as much as your body there. So I have, once again, 3x10, 1 by AMRAP to failure, a dumbbell bicep curl. That's our single joint movement, right, to target biceps. Superset here with a front raise and a dumbbell hamstring curl, okay? And then last but not least, side plank and ab lying leg raise, boom, as it's here, okay? And then last but not least, full body day number 4. Once again, I'm doing a warm up, oblique twists, trying to get my obliques really warmed up for it. Hanging scat pulls, I'm always prepping that up for pull-ups. A band of pull apart, making sure my back muscles are getting engaged. And then this right here as my compound, quote unquote, or more, this is more also even body weight specific, is a chin up. So I have 2x7, 1x5, once again, 1 by AMRAP. So that is my main movement in this lift, or in this whole workout, okay? Then I superset that with or not superset that, but I go in the next thing of a leg press. So that's my leg, that's my kind of more squat. You can also hinge a little bit more in a leg press too. 12, and then sit-ups here, core, 20. And then I come down here to my single set exercises in Arnold press. Boom, single arm. You know I love my unilateral. And then quad extension, trying to target quads. And then finally, last but not least, is a back cable T. So I'm crossing here, trying to get a back cable T. A barbell skull crusher, boom, 15, and then followed by the ab roller. Once again, one of my favorite ab exercises, if you do it right. If you do it right, okay? So that is a behind the scenes look. You will see throughout each part, like I rest for a good amount. Between my chin-ups, I rest at least 2 minutes. Between some supersets, I rest at least 60, if not 90 seconds. And so where a lot of people go wrong in training is they're just next thing, which doesn't allow them to recover as much to be able to hit even the same or heavier weights. And so everything is very strategic in here about why we do what we do. Everything is really mind muscle focused, and that will help me, but also help you actually get the results that you want. So if you have any questions, obviously message me on Instagram for this. And I hope this helps you, give you an inside look about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it to prep me up. One thing I wish I could tell all women, literally all women, is that you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. And there was an example of one of my girls came in the gym and she was doing a goblet squat. And I was like, hey, like choose kind of a medium to hard weight. And she chose like a 25, which is decent, right? And I saw her do it and I'm like, okay, like that is so easy. And I'm like, bump up. So she grabbed a 40. And then that was really easy. And I was like, bump up. Then she grabbed a 55, I think. I'll have you know, she ended up being able to do a 100-pound goblet squat. And she had no comprehension that she could ever do that. And so I shared to a lot of our girls and a lot of our women that specifically when it comes to training, one, we need to make sure that we're really focused on a good mind-muscle connection, right? I never just load weight on to load weight. I'm really focused on, okay, am I feeling my glutes in a deadlift, right? Am I feeling my shoulder blades engage in like a lat pull down? Am I feeling it in the right part for a lateral raise? And so I'm heavily focused on the neuromuscular connection, so the mind-muscle connection. But also too, once you have that, okay, let's push a little bit. Let's actually elicit enough change and enough stimulus, meaning weight, to elicit that change. And so women out there, get some heavier weights in your hand. Focus on mind-muscle connection first. If you have any questions, message me. But get some heavier weight in your hands, and that actually is what maintains, but also builds quality muscle tissue, which is gonna help you not only just from a physique standpoint, but will also help you in longevity.